Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, we got Mr. Lukey here with us today.
Yep.
His brother is sleeping in the other room, so we just brought him in here. He's gonna do his thing down here.
He's playing with his binky right now. He's learning to play with stuff, and so...
Yeah, he's just kind of learning that like when he sees something he can grab it, do things with it.
Yep, and he loves it.
Alright, so he's just going to be down here doing his thing. So basically, we have been wanting to talk about what we're doing for school coming up for a long time now, and we decided to do it in a Q&A format so that you guys can ask, I guess, the biggest questions and things that you're wondering about the most. So I have a bunch of questions that I pulled from you guys, so thank you for participating in the questions that I posted on my story. Actually, as we're filming this, it is Monday, and he is starting his first day of school today.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm kind of nervous, but I only have one class today, so I'm really not that nervous. I just hope I go to the right room and get everything right.
Well, we'll kind of talk about this later, but he only has school Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Because he is in college, so he kind of gets the luxury of picking when he wants to have his classes. He's going to a community college.
Yep.
It is really easy for him to do classes at night and online. There's a lot of options. So we basically got to customize your schedule
However I wanted it. And
exactly.
A lot of my schedule is online classes so that it fits with Sophie's.
Yeah, so everyone is really wondering how we're going to handle, like, who's going to watch the babies, who's going to be with them, like how we're going to handle our schedules combined, I guess. So we'll answer that as we go. So that was just kind of start things off. These are some really basic questions that I'm going to start off with, just so if you're new or not really up to date with what's going on, you guys know. So someone asked, is Josh going to college? Yes. And am I going to finish high school? Yes. And what grade are you in?
I am in my second year in college. And I'm not sure right now if I'm going for 4 years or stopping after this year, because after this year I do get my associate's degree, and so I might just be stopping at least for a while after this, but it all depends on our plans and how everything goes.
Everything is still kind of in the air for after this year, but for this year is what we're going to be talking about because we're taking it one step at a time and don't really know exactly what's going to be happening yet after this year, meaning moving, what I'm doing for college, that stuff. So, yeah. So he is in his sophomore year of college, and I'm in my senior year of high school. So that's just the basics. So let's see. This will be like the official start of the questions. This is from Jenna_Lena. And she said, are you nervous about leaving the babies?
I'm definitely not nervous because I know Sophie always does really, really well with the babies. And I only have like about one class a day.
I am not really nervous either because I'll only be gone a few hours, which I'll talk about further. But his classes, the longest he'll be gone is 3 hours, so it's really not bad. No one else is going to be watching the babies other than us two because we completely made our schedules around each other so that I'm going to school in the morning and he's going to school in the late afternoon, nighttime. So yes, we're not really nervous. And then Kelly Kim 2K asked, do you plan on going to a community college? So like we kind of already mentioned, he's already in a community college. He wasn't for his freshman year.
Nope.
But he transferred to be here with me and the babies locally to a community college because they're very easy to like handle your schedules. They kind of know that everyone's in different positions in life. There's a lot of older adults in your classes who are working 9-to-5 jobs, so it's really like easy for him.
Yeah, it works really well because it's one really close to us. It's about 10-minute drive, and also it's a really good community college, so it's just a good place for me to go.
Yes, and for me, no, I am not planning to go to a community college. But like I said, we have no idea what's really happening for sure after this next year. But I am definitely planning on applying to all public schools, not community schools.
Not private.
Not private and not a community school, most likely. There's only one community school I'd be willing to go to, and it's the one that he's currently at. But we're not planning to be in New York after next year. So, yeah, I'll be trying to be applying to other colleges that are in different states that aren't community schools. Alright. So this is like the whole big question here. Kaylee Parmiter said, when going back to school, what will you do with the babies? So I'm going to try to say this as simple as possible so it's like not super confusing. Basically, Monday through Fridays, our day will be me waking up early in the morning, going to school from 7 to 11:30, and then coming home. And in those hours, Josh will be here because he will not have college until at least 3 o'clock every day. Like I said, he only has school 3 days a week. They're at different times, but the earliest one of his classes starts is about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So, and then I will be home because I am not doing any sports. I'm not doing extra things this year. I am strictly just going in to take my needed credits and get out of there because I have worked my butt off the first 3 years of high school to get my GPA up there, do all the tests I needed. I just took my SAT, all my finals, everything that I needed, and so the senior year for me will just be finishing up to get my diploma, to be able to graduate, and that is it. So yeah, we worked our schedules around each other really nicely. All of my counselors worked with me on it. I'm actually taking one less class than normal to shorten my day up a little. Alright, I just ran out of room on my SD card, so we're starting again. But yes, where I left off, my day is just going to be very simple. I actually just got my schedule, so I can kind of tell you guys what classes I'm taking. I am taking AP Biology, and then I have a lab for that. And then there's a class called Participation in Government, which is basically just like an econ class, kind of, right? And then I'm taking a math and another English class, so that's all I have. So it's really freaking easy. And yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest challenge for us is going to be finding time for each of us to do our homework, meaning his online classes, because as much as we're like, oh, he has a really easy schedule, we forget that he has like 5 online classes to do.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of work to do while he's here. So it's just trying to find a balance where I can get my work in and he can get his work in and not being super stressed out and like overwhelmed, I would say. Yeah, I think that a lot of you guys are just overall asking who's going to be with the babies while we're at school. That's like really like 90% of these. And like we just explained, no, we are not going to have a sitter. My mom is not watching them. No one's watching them, just me and him. We're really just trying to take responsibility for everything and not put it onto other people. So we had to change his schedule specifically to make sure that we did not have to get a sitter or have anyone else be at the house to watch them. Yeah, I think a lot of these again are just asking whether or not we're going to be like homeschooling like me or him, or not really you, but basically me, or if I'm going to a public school or whatever, online school. I guess just to clarify, I'm going to public school and he's obviously in a community college, but he's doing part of his classes online, part of them in. Yep. So there's that. So I'm not even sure how to say this name. KWeirdHDUDP said, how many days a week are you guys going to school? So I will be at school 5 days a week.
And I will just be at school for 3 days.
Exactly. And Brittany Kegger said, what is Josh majoring in?
I'm majoring in business right now. And it's just pretty much a general degree at this point, because I'm not really sure which type of business I'd want to go into more. So it's pretty much just a general business degree at this point.
Amy.Stitt said, how are you going to manage homework when your babies start crawling and being active, and even right now as they are? We've kind of tried talking about this a little bit, but we're just going to see when it gets here. But basically, we're just hoping to give each other time each night to walk away from the babies for an hour or two to just strictly focus on our work, like handing our phone to the other person and being like, no phones, no distractions, no babies, go upstairs and get that work done. Him doing online classes plus homework and me just doing my homework. But personally, so as of last year, like when I was breastfeeding and after the babies were born and they were like in the hospital and I was still going to school, I always did my homework in the mornings. I wake up really early. I am such a morning person. I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. Actually, last year I woke up at 3 a.m. every morning so I could breastfeed and do all of that. But now I will probably be waking up around 4:30 to 5 every morning. And I usually always have like an extra 45 minutes. And I usually always did all of my homework in the morning.
Yeah, hopefully Sophie's able to get out of bed and not wake me and the babies up too much, because it would be nice if for some of the time she was at school we would all be able to still be sleeping, because then obviously that time would go by faster and it would just generally be easier every day.
And then I think for you, you'd have to just do your stuff at night.
Yeah, for me, I definitely would like to do my stuff at night, because right now they go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I'll usually stay up until like 12. And then I can use all that time for studying or whatever once it's actually quiet and no one has to worry about taking care of the babies, and we can just kind of relax.
We are going to try to just benefit off of their sleeping times, meaning I'll take care of them in the morning, I'll take care of my stuff in the morning when they're still sleeping, and he'll benefit off of the nighttime when they're sleeping then. So that'll just be the easiest way to go about it, because a lot of you in my last video thought we don't really have a schedule for them, but I mean they always are asleep between 7 to 9 every night, and they wake up at around 7 to 8 in the morning. So yeah, I think we have a pretty good schedule with them, and we know when they'll be sleeping for sure, and that's when I wake up really early and he goes to bed really late. So that's kind of how we'll do that. Taylor Whitmer asked, do you still have a lot of friends in school? I think it's kind of a little bit different for both of us since he's now in college, but for my high school friends, I do hang out with a few of my high school friends still. I don't always put it on social media or in my videos or anything. That's kind of something we do outside of YouTube, but we do still hang out with our friends actually quite often. I would say at least once a week we do.
Yeah.
But it's only with the same like 2 or 3 girls ever, and obviously I've always had a small group of friends, but I've definitely only talked to a few people seriously still. I have lost a lot of friends in the process of being pregnant, giving birth, not being at school for multiple months. I did lose a lot of friends. So, I mean, it's kind of a weird answer for me because I do still talk to 1 or 2 of the people I used to be close with, but even those people I'm not as close with anymore. So it really is, for me, I'm just really excited to be done with high school and get out of that place that I've never liked high school that much. So I really am excited to be done and excited to just move on from that kind of point in my life and meet new people in college and in a, like eventually a real job, because I think that's where I would benefit the most with making like new friends. How about you with friends?
For me, obviously, like, I still hang out with a couple of my friends sometimes, but really, like, obviously with the babies, we don't have that much, like, downtime or time where we can just, like, go and just not worry about stuff. Even before, me and Sophie would always just want to hang out with each other and just want to be with each other. So now we're with each other and 2 little babies, so we're always occupied.
Usually preoccupied.
Yeah,
we don't,
for sure.
Even when a friend will ask to hang out, most of the time I'm always like, I don't really feel like it that much.
Yeah, sometimes we just don't have the energy, or it's just kind of difficult going out with the babies, depending on where we go or what we do.
Overall, we're still in contact with some of our friends, but we definitely, neither of us are as close with them anymore as we were once, but we still hang out once in a while. We'll go out to dinner, go get ice cream, stuff like that. Okay, I saw it somewhere, but I can't find it right now, but someone did ask if I will be able to take the babies to any, like, in general, just taking them to school during a regular school day, or if I'll be taking them to any school events. And I'm not really planning to bring them into school. There's no need for that since he'll be at home to watch them. I really don't even know if my school would allow that. It would be kind of weird and kind of a distraction. But I am hoping to find like a fun day where we're not really doing much to bring the babies in, bring Josh back in to one of my classes that seems pretty relaxed or chill. I was going to do that last year, but they were too small. But for my senior prom, I am hoping to bring them. I'm dedicated to making sure that I get permission from like my school to bring them to our senior prom. I went with him his senior year?
Senior year.
I went with him his senior year when I was in my sophomore year, and I didn't go my junior year just because, was I pregnant? I think I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I was pregnant during my junior year prom, so I didn't want to go to that, but this senior year prom I think we're going to go to with the babies. Only if we can bring the babies. If not, we're making our own prom night. Because we don't want to leave these little munchkin baby boys. We're filming a video.
Sophie, look. I'm just trying grabbing Hope's face.
Okay, so Nana03Heaven07 says, are you guys going to move out after graduation? That is the plan, but we still don't know yet. We have to be financially able to, and that's really all it's really relying on. We kind of know where we want to move to, which we will announce in a later video, but it just depends on if we're financially stable. Have you had any issues with people in blank? I don't know how this person knows where I go to school, judging you. That's a whole nother video in itself about my high school experience when I was pregnant. But honestly, I am having a lot of anxiety about going back to school because the last time I was there, I was pregnant, and I didn't have like the greatest experience, but I didn't have a horrible one. I did, when I was pregnant, get looks from everybody. Every time I walked through the hallway, everyone would just be staring at me. My stomach by the end was ginormous. It was very obvious that I was pregnant. I had started YouTube also,
yeah,
so
your YouTube had like just started at the end of that school year,
yes,
so it's nothing like how it is now.
I gave birth 2 weeks after I posted my first video,
Yeah.
so everybody knew, I think, since I was like 10 weeks pregnant, because I told 2 people, and those 2 people kind of spilled it, and it got everywhere, and everybody knew about it before, way before I had a bump. Like, you could not tell at all. There was no difference. And people knew from that day on. So when I started getting that stomach, I mean, everybody would just be staring at me. The first time anyone actually like reached out to me to be nice about it was after I posted the first YouTube video on this channel. That's a whole story in itself, but I just think we could round this out by saying that high school and college for both of us have been kind of a struggle. I mean, when I was pregnant and he was in college, it was a huge struggle for him because we were working through it, and it was definitely super difficult. So going back to school again is like, alright, we just want to get it done.
Yep.
We're ready to first off move out of where we live and to start somewhere else, and especially for me, being done with high school is going to be such a relief, and being able to start college I'm actually extremely excited for. And with him, like, even if he continues on, it'll be in a different location and a little bit more serious, because you're obviously just in your first few years, which is kind of your not so important classes that you're just trying to get done. So I think for both of us, this year is a little like making us a little bit anxious. When we're done with it, it'll be worth it. So that's the whole point. And
like, I think to both of us, getting a job is so much more appealing than being in school. And it's just like having something to look forward to is really great, but we just like want to be able to be working or just like have YouTube or whatever it is, like, versus going to school every day.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, both of us are just excited to have a real job someday, and that means getting through college first, so we're just doing the steps to get there. It's not super fun, but we're gonna do it. And I think a lot of people may ask why we're going through the trouble of not hiring a sitter or getting them a daycare. I think one, it's money. We're not willing to spend the money if we're able to just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And second, as teen parents, we're not trying to put our babies on other people. Little Lukey man. So yeah, we're just gonna do it ourselves. It's really not a struggle. It's not difficult. We're kind of both benefiting off of it, honestly, because neither of us really want to go into school for that long.
Yeah. And also we don't really feel that comfortable with like handing over our babies to like a stranger and just like paying them for it. They're just too small.
We're not comfortable with that anytime soon, so this is what works best for us and what we're doing to kind of get through it. We're gonna take you guys along with us obviously the whole year. We may struggle, we may do really well, we'll see, but we'll get through it and we'll just see how it goes. This was only about school just because there's a lot to talk about, and I think this kind of covered most of it. We'll see you in the next video. We love you guys so much, and we have a baby to wave bye. Say bye.